Hello, my beautiful people. In this vlogmas video, I will be sharing a personal story that happened to me a little over a year ago that completely changed my life. On September 15th, 2024, a sudden fire broke out at my apartment, and the aftermath was extremely traumatic and emotional. It was just after midnight, and I was upstairs in the loft. My unit was 2 levels. So I was upstairs in the loft and I was asleep. And something woke me up. I kept on hearing someone yelling. And at first I ignored it and turned back over and went to sleep. Now I do sleep with my window cracked because I'm going through menopause. So I need some cold air coming in now and then, and it helps me sleep better at night. So I heard some people yelling, but I just ignored it and turned back over and went back to sleep. Then the yelling got louder, and then I woke up and they were saying, "Get out, get out, get out." So at that point, I got up to look out the window and I saw two people. They were walking their dog and they were the ones yelling. And then I could see uh, like shining light, like I could see, I couldn't see the fire at that point, but I could see something was going on from the glare from the window reflection. So at that point, I ran downstairs to the first level. And on the first level was the living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom, and the balcony. So I ran downstairs to wake my son up because he was in the bedroom. And as I'm going downstairs, I could see flames coming from the balcony. So I go to wake him up. And as I wake him up and I'm headed back to exit the apartment to go downstairs, I could see that the flames were getting larger. So as I'm going to go down to the next level to exit the unit, the flames were so large that I turned back and looked, and the patio glass door shattered. The glass just shattered, and the flames entered into the unit. Thankfully, we managed to get out of the unit in time. Thankfully to the neighbors that were working their dog and yelling and screaming, "Get out, get out." If I didn't hear them, God knows what would have happened. Luckily, our neighbors had already called 911 and were able to start telling the neighbors that were in the building with us to get their family and loved ones out. So the fire department did arrive, and it was multiple units from different towns, as I recall, and they did their best to put the fire out, but it was just, it traveled through the rafters from what the fire chief advised me, and it traveled fast, and it went into other units as well, and the damage was just way too extensive. My heart was like in my stomach. The fire chief tried to explain how the fire traveled so quickly and destroyed so much and had such a damaging impact. Me trying to understand it in that moment, it was way too much. And then they had these infrared machinery that they used to see. It was fire patches within the walls that were still heat sensors, some type of heat sensor. So, and they were trying to put those out as well. And once I saw the flames coming from the roof of the loft where my bedroom was, I just knew that it wasn't it wasn't going to be a good outcome. And in the midst of it, it was freezing cold outside. I was praying, 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 and my neighbors were out there, and people that neighbors and neighbors you've never met, trying to comfort you, and it was something unimaginable. I seriously felt completely numb, lost, and devastated. I had completely checked out, replaying the events in my head about the fire over and over and over in my head for days. And I could not sleep. I could not sleep. Fear of what could happen, fear of another fire, or the fear of what could have happened. It was so many things that were going through my head. I couldn't sleep for several months, like sleep fully throughout the night. I couldn't sleep for several months. I would be up for hours from like 12 at midnight to 5, 6 in the morning. That was my norm. I just could not sleep. And sleeping were challenging, absolutely challenging. The first couple months, it really was. And the nightmares from the fire were trying to consume me, and which wasn't healthy. So I continued to pray, 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 and trust God. And it was just a lot, to say the least. It was a lot going through something like this. The physical and emotional toll that it took on me was very hard. I began to question God. God, why me? Why me? Why did this happen to me? Now that morning, because like I said, the fire happened after midnight on the 15th. So that morning, by I guess daybreak, maybe around 5, 6 a.m., um, I was still going back and forth from my unit to my stepdaughter's unit. Me and my stepdaughter lived in the same development. So thank God, because I was over there, I was able to go over there and get something to put on, because I was in my pajamas when all this happened and I didn't think about grabbing anything. And so I was able to go over there and put on some things and walk back to get updates and just go through the emotions. So in this video, I was allowed to go back in with the fire chief, and it was wee hours of the morning because it was still dark outside, and my emotions were all over the place. I was in shock, disbelief. I felt numb. I felt sad. I was just all over the place. I felt a sense of fear, anxiety crept in. It was a blend of so many emotions all balled up in one. I was in total disbelief. How everything I own was completely gone. Belongings, memories, pictures, heirlooms, all gone. A sense of helplessness came over me. Everything felt out of my control. No matter where I was, I struggled to sleep at night. I didn't want to be in the house alone with fear of something happening. So, and if I was alone, I just didn't sleep. I was just up, just up. And I my one of my closest friends is a therapist, and she's like, you you need to sleep. She said it's not healthy. You need to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't. So I did join some um, groups for fire survivors, and I did speak to resources that were provided for um, temporary therapy, and I did speak to someone, and I joined resource groups for the fire survivors as well as people experiencing fires. I think the second option probably wasn't the best option for me to join because it would trigger a lot of things in me about my own experience that I was trying to heal from. So eventually I had to leave that group. And the most important thing out of it all, I know there were belongings and stuff that could be replaced. I realized that. And I am truly blessed to be able to have woken up in time to get out and wake my son up, because the way he explained the fires traveling through the rafter was right underneath my loft. It was just scary. It was just, it was to think that what if, and I had to get those thoughts out of my head in order to heal and move on. Now, till this day, I would say the smell of smoke is a trigger for me. I don't care what type of smoke it is a trigger for me. And it took me a while to replace some of the essentials, some of my clothes, my shoes, my coats. I would go in the store and the intention was to buy something, but I just couldn't. I just could not. In fear of losing it again. And I would be sitting there thinking, like, why am I buying these shoes? Why am I buying this shirt? Why am I buying this coat when I had 5 coats, 20 pairs of shoes? Just thinking about things would constantly deter me from buying anything in the store. It was extremely a struggle, and it took some time, and it took also my daughter, my stepdaughter, my best friend, my sister, just like people that were close to me, to help me and encourage me, tell me that these are things you need, these are essentials. You, regardless of how you're feeling, you need to buy them. So eventually I was able to purchase some of the things that I definitely needed because I had nothing. I would be in Target and I'd be like, I'm not buying that shirt even though I want it. I refused to buy that shirt because I had one. I would literally be having mental breakdowns. Um, when the day of the fire, I had nothing to wear, so the only place that was open there early in the morning was Walmart. And I went to Walmart to get a pair of shoes, some socks, some underwear. I think I got a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt. And before every aspect of that shopping experience, I had emotional, mental breakdowns throughout the whole store. From the shoe department to the underwear section to the sweatpants section to the t-shirt section. And I remember going to checkout And I was literally bawling at checkout. I was crying. I could not stop crying. I got the items and got out the store, and that continued for quite some time. A fire is a traumatic experience that I don't wish on anyone. I don't wish on anyone. Losing all my personal belongings as well as the business items that I had a a gift basket business that I had been doing for years, and I was transitioning into doing something else. And I had my supplies. I used to make t-shirts and mugs and cups and all type of things. I also did parties and event planning, and anytime anyone needed something, I was the go-to, in my circle, and the the customers that I built relationships with, um, I was the go-to. So when they wanted something different and creative and unique, or a bunch of favors or t-shirts or whatever the case may be, I was the go-to. So I had all my computer, my supplies all organized, the printer, the heat press, just a lot of stuff that I had accumulated over the years for my business was gone. Everything was gone. I have a video that I took after when I was first able to go back in the unit, and I will share that in this video, and I have pictures as well. And I couldn't go up to the second level, which was the loft, only because the fire chief said that the foundation, the floor was unstable, and it would literally collapse onto the first level. So that was totally um not allowed. I was able to go up to maybe 3 or 4 stairs and take a video, a picture, and that was it. And it was, I am definitely healing, and I've come a long way. I can say that I have come such a long way, but I still am healing, and I'm trusting God no matter what. I'm trusting God no matter what. I know He has better things in store for me, and I'm relying on the book of Job. The book of Job. I'm relying on that story, and I know that God spared my life for a purpose, and He's not done with me yet. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that. This was a glimpse of my bedroom sanctuary before the fire. And this is the bedroom, the loft after the fire. Totally unrecognizable. I still have triggers every now and then, and I am so grateful for the family and the friends and the strangers that supported me and stood by me through this ordeal. And it also helped me reevaluate relationships with certain family and friends that were not supportive or that I did not hear from. And I also made me recognize that everybody does not have my heart. The things that I would have done for other people, I didn't receive from certain people in return. So that was an eye opener as well, because I'm the type of person where I would drop everything to make sure my family, my friends are okay. Or if they need something, I'd make it happen. So, not saying that it was anybody's responsibility, but when you're going through something and you have a big heart, you just expect to hear from certain people or to have support from certain people. And when I didn't, and especially the ones where I kind of had here and I had to bring them all the way down here, that was a reality for me. But um, I'm in a better space with it. Definitely a better space with it. Before I was kind of angry, a little bitter, hurt, and just like because I put them in a place or a category that they should have never been in. And I acknowledge that and I recognize that at this point, and I'm good with it. And I forgive myself and I also forgive them. So that's growth. And I'm grateful for that part of the journey. But the adjustments had to be made. The dynamics in some of the relationships, the adjustments, the downgrades, they had to be made. And not only did I see them in the physical realm, but God revealed to me in the spiritual realm as well. And once God reveals certain things to you in the spiritual realm, you can't walk away from it. When God shows you who certain people are, you got to believe him. You have to believe him. I am extremely grateful for the firefighters who put their lives on the line to battle the fire. I'm grateful for uh, my family and friends and the strangers that did support me. I'm totally grateful because I know that God placed certain people in my life for a reason and a season. And God does things for a reason, things that we may not even understand, or He may not even reveal to us unless we're mature enough, spiritually mature enough to understand and receive it. In the beginning, I used to say, after the fire, I used to say, um, I lost everything in a fire. I lost everything in a fire. I lost everything in a fire. And God had to correct me, and He said, you survived a fire. You lost material belongings that can be replaced. You can get new things, but your life is irreplaceable. So stop saying that you lost everything. No, you survived the fire. So I survived the fire. I am a living testimony of how good God is and how He spared my life. And I know that God still has more in store for me, and He has a purpose and a plan for my life. And I am so grateful to be here to share this story with you guys. So as we head into Vlogmas, I'm here to reflect on the importance of family, friends, safety, and the small moments of joy that make life meaningful even after the darkest times. I hope my story encourages you to appreciate what you have and also hold your loved ones a little closer this holiday season. Thank you for your support. I hope this video was a blessing to someone out there. I would like to take this time to thank all my real family members, my real friends, the strangers God allowed to bless me, the job I was on at that time. I love and appreciate everything you guys did for me. The fire may have taken my belongings, my memories, everything I thought I knew, but it hasn't taken my spirit. Life may knock us down in ways we never expect, but it's how we rise up that defines us. If you're going through something similar, I want you to know you're not alone. The road ahead may be hard, but we are stronger than we think. Every setback is an opportunity to rebuild, to grow, and to come back even stronger. Keep going, keep believing, you got this, and together we'll rise from the ashes. As I've walked through the pain of losing everything in the fire, one thing I hold on to is the belief that when you treat others right, when you do good by people, God honors that. It's the law of reciprocity. What you put out into the world, whether in kindness, love, good intentions, always comes back to you in ways you might not expect. I know this journey is far from over, but I'm trusting God. He sees me, and He honors our efforts to help and uplift others. No matter how dark the road may seem, keep doing good, keep trusting, and keep believing that better days are ahead. You're never alone in this journey. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that me sharing my story encourages or inspires someone. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless.